Okay, first question for Joe. We'll start here with Barry.
We were just talking to Buck and Bob about this, but what was going on the mound there what were they looking for? You had to take off your hat, they check behind your ears, what was going on there?
I think he was checking for some kind of substance that was helping me spin the ball or something. I've seen it before. I think he's done it before, but yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about it. It was, at the point in the game when it happened, I was so dialed in already. All my pitches felt good. I felt like I was executing, so it almost just kind of lit a fire under me. Came out, told me Buck wanted to check, my face, my glove, my hat. But yeah, at that point I was so dialed in and so focused on getting outs, it didn't really, affect me too much.
Yeah, you seemed to just pick up after it happened right where you left off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a win or go home game, so they were having a lot of trouble squaring me up. And, I feel like that was his last attempt at, trying to push me out of the game there. And, they took their shot. But I don't know. I mean, the only thing I have to say is you better be very confident that no one on your side is using anything if you're going to call out someone on our side. So.
Next question. In the back on the right.
Joe, what's the feeling coming through in such a big way in such a big game?
Yeah, it feels great. Feels a lot better now than it did before the game. Sick to my stomach all day leading up to this. I don't know. This is something that I've been preparing for a long time. You go over it in your head so many times as a kid about getting the ball in the biggest moment, on the biggest stage, and this is something that we do, a lot of visualizing on in the off season is moments like this. And me and Nola spent the whole off season together, throwing to each other, and him catching me, I guess, not throwing to each other, but him catching all my bullpens, training together, working out together, and nobody outside of that group that was there. Clev was part of that, Stammen, Crony for a little bit. Nobody's going to know what was put in there and the amount of effort and, focus and attention to detail. No one's going to know that like we do. And that's something we talked about on our walk-in from the bullpen to the game is, now it's time to trust everything that we did, everything that we prepared for is for this moment. And the last thing I told him was I'm going to go pitch a game of my life. And I believe that. And if you don't believe it, no one else is going to. And I feel like I learned a lot about myself in here tonight throughout everything that happened throughout the course of the game and the severity of the moment.
Okay, we stay in the middle there, Jake.
How's it going? When they came out to check you later on that inning, you struck someone out and made a motion towards the Mets dugout. I'm just curious if you could walk me through that. Obviously, you were pretty fired up. Yeah,
I mean, I like a lot of guys on that side. I have nothing against those guys. It's just, the competitor in me trying to find an edge there. They came out to get their edge and get me out of the game. So, I took that as a chance to get my edge and use whatever I could to, to motivate me to push through that last inning or two. And at that point in the game, what was it, bottom six? I don't know how many pitches I was at, but I figured I was probably, coming towards the end of the line. We got a really strong bullpen and a couple guys down there that are really fresh. So I knew if I can get it through the sixth or seventh, we can go to those guys. And honestly, going into the game, I wasn't thinking about trying to go 7 innings. I was just thinking about being as quality as I could for as long as I could. And if that's 4 innings, if that's 5 innings, so be it, because we got a really strong bullpen. And, the runs early in the game, a couple really good defensive plays allowed me to get through 7.
And then just quickly, your ear, I know there was a lot of discussion on it. Just to ask, Andrew McCutcheon went on Twitter and said that he thought it was hot sauce. I'm curious just to ask you straight up, was there anything that you put on there before the game, whether it was illicit substance or anything, or was it just an effect from the lights on TV?
No, I mean, maybe just an effect. I mean, we're sweating my ass off out there. So, yeah, I don't know what they saw or what it looked. I haven't seen any video or anything, but, I mean, they came out, checked me, didn't find anything, so.
Ron, right there on the left. Oh.
Even if there was nothing going on, does part of you think that the reason they asked to be checked was to disrupt you?
I don't know if it was the timing or anything. Maybe they thought that would, rile me up and get me a little bit outside of my game. But I'm aware of that stuff. I think about every possible situation I could be in the night before a start. I go through, from the start of walking out of the dugout to the bullpen to warm up, what that's going to sound like, what's going to feel like if I get runners on early in the game, what's the energy going to be like, what's my mind going to be thinking, where am I going to want to go, and I try to combat those things the night before I start so that when I get out there, Whatever happens is something that I've been through before, and I know how to manage it. So anything like that, I mean, that's not something that I visualized was them coming out and checking me, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm ready for any situation that goes on.
What's going through your mind when Alfonso's plucking your ears almost like he's trying to pull a quarter out?
You're not going to find nothing.